24 minutes to 8.
And let's return to our major story this morning. This is the prospect of a Commonwealth-wide free trade agreement. 53 countries in the Commonwealth. This has been talked up by the Foreign Minister Winston Peters in London following this CHOGM meeting with the Commonwealth heads of government meeting taking place. Of course, the Prime Minister there too, and saying it is not an idea that should be dismissed. So let's talk to National about it. Paula Bennett is in the Leaders' Chair this morning and is with me in the Auckland studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This idea of a Commonwealth free trade agreement, 53 countries, it's a lot to get round the table. How realistic is it? How much resource should New Zealand be putting into this?
Look, we've been working really hard on the EU free trade agreement and, of course, more recently with Brexit. So, I mean, there's about 5 years that's gone in already into that EU. It's worth billions and billions of dollars, which means more jobs, which means all of that good stuff for New Zealand. I would have thought with our limited resource that we would be absolutely concentrating on EU and on the UK. I thought the Prime Minister did a great job in her discussions with Macron and getting, and really getting them on board, and with Germany, with Merkel. So, I mean, we've got progress there. I think we laid the foundations. These guys have got an opportunity to close that. And as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, concentrate on what's most important right now instead of some of these comments we're hearing about other countries.
This is the other thing. I mean, he's talking again about Russia. I mean, that is on ice. To be fair to him, he said that that's on ice, but he's also gone on to talk about the prospect of a free trade deal with North Korea.
Yeah, I mean, this is just insane, Guyon. I mean, here we are, as I say, we're making real progress in two areas that would make a fundamental difference to New Zealand. We have a Foreign Affairs Minister who has actually has experience in the job. He knows that his words matter. And so why would you even be thinking about upsetting, our potential partners in a trade that's going to make a huge difference for New Zealand? And he knows that. I don't know what the fixation is with Russia. Yes, you're right, he didn't say we're going there, but why even talk about it when you know it's got the potential to upset some of these guys we really are trying to negotiate with?
North Korea, I'm just looking at a BBC story here. It says North Korea's biggest export is giant statues.
Now that might explain it. Maybe we've got a Winston Peters one coming our way on the shores of Northland somewhere for the seagulls to land on.
But seriously, do you think that this will have any diplomatic effect? I mean, I know he's not talking about signing it next week, but raising the prospect of a free trade deal with North Korea as a New Zealand Foreign Minister, what will other countries make of this? I mean, you've been Deputy Prime Minister. How does this sort of thing go down? Do people look at it, take it seriously?
They do take it seriously. So a few months ago when he was talking about Russia, the word back from the EU and from the UK was that they were not happy with those discussions, that they were in negotiations with us in good faith, and they expected us to be doing that as well. So the example I'm giving you is that this North Korea talk, and even mentioning Russia at the moment, does have the potential to set us back. He should be choosing his words more carefully. I mean, the Prime Minister must be absolutely horrified. She's doing a reasonably good job out there, and then she's still got this kind of, weird discussions going on.
Well, people would look at National and say, look, you set yourself up as a free trading party and you're all for free trade. They might ask, well, why not look at free trade deals with anyone who wanted to do free trade deals with New Zealand? What would you say to that?
Look, I would just say that at the moment we've got a couple that are real potentials. We've sort of got India on the sidelines as well. We've got limited resource here as much as officials and experts in those sorts of areas. Let's get them concentrating where it will make the biggest difference for New Zealand. The whole sort of Commonwealth one, I wouldn't close the door on it. Something potentially in the future. Took 9 years to do TPP with 13 countries, and 12 countries, 11 of course over the line. And we're talking about over 50 of all sizes and
so
economics
complex
and
with more
really
countries.
Complex.
Overall, though, you thought the PM did a good job in Europe. She's had a lot of positive coverage
Yeah, look,
for New Zealand?
Look, it's great to see New Zealand, on the world stage, and I thought she did a good job. As I say, particularly pleased that she's continuing that work, on those free trade agreements, that she's formed those relationships.
There was a lot
both
of
with France
excitement in
and
New
Germany.
Zealand about the image of her in the korowai with the Queen. Did you see those photos? What did you think?
I thought she looked beautiful, to be honest, and I thought it was, I've seen the Queen obviously wearing a korowai as well, and I just think there is something that's so symbolic to New Zealand, and it's a sense of pride that certainly you could see that she had.
So doing a good job
and I
representing
thought
New
that
Zealand
was-
on the world stage.
That
you
was
think?
really good. I think she's done a good job in the last few days, and she should be proud of herself.
Thanks very much for your time this morning. Do appreciate it. That's Paula Bennett, who's standing in. Where is Simon Bridges?
Yeah, we've sent him away for a couple of days to bond with his own kids. I think family's important, isn't it?
All right. It's school holidays, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thanks for your time. That's Paula Bennett, who is standing in for Simon Bridges at the moment, doing the media duties as stand-in leader of the National Party, I guess. 19 minutes to 8.
Nurses will begin voting